Hello, this is Left Turn Productions, and welcome to the BMRN LTP Pro Series. This is race number 6, I think, if I remember correctly. Yes, so this is race number 6, so me and Caleb did a bit of a swap, like mentioned before. We swapped races 5 and 6, so he did races 4 and 5. Ryan Newman won race 4 at Highland Hills, and at Sunoco, I don't remember who won. Oh, Kevin Harvick won at Sunoco. But now we're back, and the next two BMRN LTP Pro Series races are going to be on my channel. This is probably going to be the only one this month because the Omaha 500 month is going to eat up the entire month, pretty much. But yeah, here we are at Hooverville, and this is one of the returning tracks from last season, much like Dixieland. Yeah, this is going to be the first plate race of the season, and I think there's 2, maybe 3 in the season. But yeah, let's look into your stories here. So Hendrick Motorsports as a whole did not have a good qualifying run. A lot of the teammates are starting near each other. Not just Hendrick Motorsports, but you can see them starting towards the end of the field. They're going to have to work their way up through the pack, as well as you can see last race's winner, the 4 car of Kevin Harvick. And I think Kevin Harvick's also the points leader heading into this race. And then we have a couple of drivers that had pretty good starting spots here. Michael McDowell in the 34 is starting inside the top 10 alongside Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the 47. Stenhouse is actually right at the bottom of the point standings. He has not had a good season so far, but looking to turn it around here on the plate tracks. He is pretty good on the plate tracks, so I'd watch out for him here in this race. And finally, you've got pretty much an all Penske top 4, definitely not something that Caleb likes to see, and Joey Logano, who is down at the bottom of the points with Stenhouse, is on the pole for this race. So looking to maybe turn his season around here, as well as Blaney and Keselowski. And actually, a Penske car has flipped in the last 3 BMRN LTP Pro Series races. So yeah, let's see what ends up happening here in this race. Will it happen a 4th time? I mean, it's Hooverville. It could. So row 1, you've got Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney. Row 2 is Matt DiBenedetto and Brad Keselowski. Matt DiBenedetto also is the winner here last season in a photo finish over Kyle Busch when he was driving the 41 and he won the championship. Row 3 is the 18 of Kyle Busch and the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. Row 4 is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Ryan Blaney. And row 5 is Kurt Busch and Michael McDowell. Row 6 is Ross Chastain and Ryan Newman. Row 7 is Clint Bowyer and Bubba Wallace. Row 8 is Tyler Reddick and Chris Buescher. Row 9 is Eric Almirola and Chase Elliott. And row 10 is William Byron and Eric Jones. Row 11 is Kevin Harvick and Cole Custer. Row 12 is Jimmy Johnson and Alex Bowman. Row 13 is Corey LaJoie and Christopher Bell. And rounding out the field is Reed Sorensen in the 13 car instead of the 27 this time, as he will be running the entire season in that 13 car now instead of the 27. It's the same team and everything, just different number. And the 5 of Ryan Preece. So there's going to be 9 laps here at Hooverville. The pace car is going to roll off in turn number 4. Logano and Blaney are going to lead them off. Green flag in the air. Let's get some plate racing out here, boys. Going down the backstretch, it is of course, as you expect, the teammates working together, but Keselowski got shuffled out. So it's single file, the first 3 cars being Logano, Blaney, and DiBenedetto. And it looks like Logano might be leading the first lap of this race, and he will, with Blaney behind. But here comes DiBenedetto now to the bottom. He's going to abandon Ryan Blaney, and now he's going for the lead with help from the 47 of Ricky Stenhouse. As you can see, they're already 4 wide further back in the field. So they get 4 wide really quickly here at Hooverville as Logano is trying to block all the lanes, as he is now in front of Ricky Stenhouse, who's moving up to 2nd place now. Oh, he and Blaney collide, but they save it and they wreck behind them. The first caution of the race is out. Michael McDowell. Oh, McDowell's up and over. A blowover for Michael McDowell on the front stretch. Reed Sorensen, Christopher Bell, Harvick, the points leader, involved in this one. A costly wreck for the points as Kevin Harvick and Jimmy Johnson, who was 2nd in points, are both involved in this wreck, along with McDowell being upside down. Reed Sorensen, Christopher Bell up there, and Clint Boyer was also involved in the wreck. As you saw, it all started with Stenhouse and Blaney. So let's go back on the replay and see what happened. So the first crash of the race, and also the first flip of the race, and hopefully the only one, because we saw at Orlando in the Gen 4 series, there were 4 flips in that race, and it was getting out of hand. But anyway, Stenhouse is trying to go for the lead on Logano. He cuts up in front of Ryan Blaney, but Blaney had a run. They collided, somehow kept it from wrecking, but they started stacking up behind. McDowell got turned, Boyer got turned, Newman was involved in the 6 car. And McDowell, watch him, he gets turned around, up in the air, Brendan Gaughan style, and he probably would have landed on all 4 wheels if it wasn't for Reed Sorensen. He hit Reed Sorensen right in the roof. Thank goodness for those roll bars there, because that was a nasty hit. Everybody involved in the wreck is okay, and that is great to see. They had a bit of trouble getting Christopher Bell out because of how the car sat, and of course Michael McDowell being upside down was also a problem, but both drivers are okay, as well as everyone else involved. Let's look more at the other cars involved in the wreck this second time around. So once again, Ricky Stenhouse in second place, trying to pass Logano, and then he just misjudges the gap there on Blaney. They almost wreck, and then they start wrecking behind. Boyer got turned by Newman. It was like 2 separate wrecks, because the 34 got turned and the 14 got turned, but it was both a result of that stack up. There you can see Jimmy Johnson and Clint Boyer hard into the inside wall. That's going to end both their days. Eric Jones was also involved in the wreck. He was sliding down there. Both Newman and Jones will be able to continue, but everybody else is out of the race, because Newman and Jones really didn't get that much damage because they just kind of slid. They didn't hit anything, except for Newman clipping Jones to send him spinning. As you can see, the 34 upside down there and rolling to a stop. So we're going to have a restart on lap number 4, and Joey Logano is still the leader. Alright, Joey Logano choosing the outside lane on this restart. He has a pseudo teammate in Matt DiBenedetto behind him. And there's also Kurt Busch on the inside lane with Kyle Busch behind him. Brothers. I don't know if this is the right move for Logano, but let's see what ends up happening here on this restart. Logano on the outside, almost able to clear Kurt Busch, but Kyle's going to shove Kurt coming through turns 1 and 2. And Kurt Busch is going to take the lead in the 1 car. See Truex there lurking back there, but he's getting left out as Blaney goes to the inside. Joey Logano stuck up on the outside as well, but DiBenedetto gets back down to the inside. He's going to keep fighting for that top 3 position. Oh, Kyle Busch into the wall. And that's going to be another caution as Kyle Busch gets turned all by himself. Nobody else gets involved. And that's going to end the 18 cars day. That must have scrambled his Skittles. So let's see the replay of that and see what exactly happened there. Kyle was once again running in second place coming out of turn 4, just like Stenhouse was. DiBenedetto tries to go to the inside. I don't know if DiBenedetto clipped Kyle Busch or Kyle Busch just misjudged, but either way, it sends him hard into the inside wall and out of the race. That was a pretty big hit, but thankfully Kyle's okay. He was pretty frustrated after the wreck. He took off his helmet immediately and kind of slammed it against the roof of his car. Definitely not happy about that. He has kind of had a frustrating season thus far. Let's look at it one more time. Busch has had some great cars. He just hasn't been able to finish races. That's been his problem this season, and it bites him again here. I think Kyle was coming down just because of where DiBenedetto is on the track relative to the previous frame. I think Busch might have came down, but DiBenedetto could have came up. I'm not sure. Either way, the two made contact, and it sent Kyle into the inside wall, and it definitely wasn't like an intentional wreck or anything. But yeah, Kyle Busch is out of the race, And we're going to have a restart again on lap number 6, I believe. All right, Kurt Busch is your leader with Matt DiBenedetto on the outside. And it looks like a lose-lose situation here for Kurt Busch as there's 2 Penske cars behind him in Logano and Blaney. Green flag back in the air, and it is lap number 6 that we restart on. DiBenedetto is getting a big shove from Ryan Blaney. Huge shove from Ryan Blaney as DiBenedetto is going to take the lead. Logano goes up to the outside. Now William Byron's getting into the mix. Oh, they're about to go 4 wide back there. And they do go 4 wide as Truex goes up to the outside of Logano. And Byron went to the inside of Kurt Busch. Now they're on lap 7, or the leaders are. And look at how far ahead the 21 and the 12 have gotten. But they're not going to stay out there. The pack's going to catch back up to them. Byron and Truex leading that pack. Byron going to the inside. And now the 21 and the 12 are broken up. But DiBenedetto remains in the lead. As you can see, the entire pack pretty much is 4 wide. Save for the few leaders. You can see, try and see where your favorite driver is in that mess. I see Corey LaJoie up there in the top 10. He's having a pretty good run. Alex Bowman snuck up in there as well, and William Byron's taking the lead. They're going 3 wide for the lead, maybe, as Truex tries to make something happen. And Byron is now out in front. Ooh, Blaney got a little loose there. As Stenhouse now going on the inside for the lead. Byron's getting spun. Bowman's in the air. They're wrecking. It's a big one here in turns 3 and 4 at Hooverville. The caution is out just before they take the white flag. We're going to have a 1-lap shootout, as we have several cars involved, and DiBenedetto's going over late. Matt DiBenedetto goes upside down. Well, remember when I said that another Penske car was going to flip over? Well, or that another Penske car could flip over for the 4th week in a row. I don't think that counts, but that is a Penske-aligned car. The only Penske-aligned car in the field that isn't a Penske car. But anyway, yeah, there's a lot of drivers involved in this one. Bowman, Byron, I see Kurt Busch back there, Brad Keselowski, Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, Eric Jones, Ryan Newman. I think that's Ross Chastain as well there in the 42. Let's go look at a replay of that one. 13 cars, I believe, were involved in this accident, including the ones that were involved but still are able to continue. So let's look up near the front here. You can see Byron and Stenhouse racing for the lead. Byron just gets bumper hooked by the 19 car, it looks like. Bowman up in the air, comes back down. And it's just been not a very good day for Hendrick Motorsports, as now that's all 4 of their cars that are wiped out. Bowman comes up, collects the 22 of Logano, and he spins, but he doesn't hit anything, so he'll be okay. Chris Buescher bounces around in the wreck, and he'll also be able to escape this. And DiBenedetto's up on top of Ryan Blaney, and then when Eric Jones comes in, it just turns the 21 over. And again, it was pretty hard to get him out since he was upside down and there were a lot of cars around him, but thankfully everybody in the wreck is okay. Let's look at it one more time. So Byron, again, in the 3rd lane, he just got turned by Truex when Truex was trying to bump draft him. And just collects everybody down there. Ryan Preece squeezes in there and makes it. Same with Tyler Reddick. Bubba Wallace got some damage but was able to keep going. Kurt Busch had a hard hit into the outside wall. Eric Jones and Ryan Newman both in this. They were both in that first big one as well. So that's going to end their days, though. So yeah, a lot of drivers taken out in this one. There aren't very many left running in the race. So yeah, I believe we're going to go, since this is a BMRN sanctioned series, we have a bit different rules for overtime. We do 1-lap shootouts instead of the regular 2-lap overtimes, and that is what is going to happen here, as Ricky Stenhouse is going to lead them to the line with 1 lap to go. Alright, before we get to the restart, let's look at the drivers that are left. So Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Martin Truex Jr. are on the front row, the 2 juniors, and they've had very opposite seasons. Truex has had a really good season, competing for the championship pretty much, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has just had a miserable season. So they're both on the front row there. How about a couple maybe underdogs up here in row 2? Eric Almirola, I don't know if he's considered an underdog, but he's up here. And Corey LaJoy in 4th place for Go Fast Racing. Very nice to see that small team up here as well. Row 3 is Denny Hamlin and Cole Custer. Row 4 is Ryan Preece and Tyler Reddick. Row 5 is Joey Logano and Bubba Wallace. And Chris Buescher is the last car there. Those last 3 cars were involved in that last big one, but were able to make repairs. So yeah, let's see who's going to win this race. It's going to be a 1-lap shootout, BMRN style. And the green flag, or the white flag rather, is out. Stenhouse and Truex side by side. They're going 3 wide for second. Now Stenhouse is clear. And that's the 32 of LaJoy up on the outside. Almirola in second. He's going to try to block. He's getting turned. And the 3 car is going to hit him as well. Is there going to be a caution? They won't throw the caution unless they have to. They throw the caution because Almirola just hit the catch fence. And I believe the 47 was in front. Yes, he was. And it's going to be Ricky Stenhouse who wins it in a wild one at Hooverville. Wow. The 3 car of Tyler Reddick, the 10 car of Eric Almirola, involved in a heavy crash on the back straightaway. Let's go and look at what happened on the white flag lap. So here is the restart. Stenhouse on the bottom, Truex on the top. They come to the line. Stenhouse and Truex side by side going into turn 1, and then LaJoy and Custer make a move to the high side. The 10 car of Almirola shoving the 47. The 32 is an SHR aligned team, so they're trying to line up those SHR cars, and Almirola just went for a hole that wasn't there. Gets spun around by LaJoy hard into the outside wall, and then Tyler Reddick hits him while he's in the air, which throws him up into the catch fence. They had to throw a caution for that due to the damage to the catch fence. The LTP rules are that on the final lap, they won't throw a caution unless it's absolutely necessary, and in this situation, it definitely was. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr. gets the win. This is his first win on my channel. And how about that? Corey LaJoy still walks away with a 2nd place finish. So we're going to look at the results here in just a moment. So here are your race results. Stenhouse getting the win, and here's something else interesting. The sponsored account for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is Jimtendo Man, aka James Edwards. This is his first points-paying BMRN win in almost a year and a half. So it's been a long time coming for James Edwards there, and he's the sponsored account of Ricky Stenhouse here, and finally gets a win. He came really close to getting some stop-motion wins lately, and he finally gets one here today. Corey LaJoy, again, with a great run in 2nd place. Could have won the race. Martin Truex Jr. finishes 3rd, a solid day for him. That's going to help him in the points after he kind of lost out at Sunoco last time around. Cole Custer also with a solid run in 4th place, so he didn't do too bad either. And Joey Logano definitely on the turnaround here, at least for this race. He ends up getting a top 5 out of it. Denny Hamlin finishes 6th, Chris Buescher 7th, Ryan Preece 8th, Bubba Wallace 9th. He was the last driver to finish the race. Eric Almirola and Tyler Reddick crashed on the final lap, and then we got Bowman, Byron, DiBenedetto, Elliott, Blaney, Busch, Chastain, all the guys that were involved in wrecks, and you can see who you are here in here. And so, as always with these BMRN LTP Pro Series races, I'll have Caleb post the points in the comments a couple hours after the race has been run. So congratulations to Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and sponsored account Jimtendo Man for getting the win out here today. They've been struggling this season, but this will definitely help try and turn their season around. The next race will be the Omaha race for the York Legends cars. The next BMRN LTP Pro Series race will probably be in early July. But before the Omaha LTPSS race, I will be filming and posting the highlights of qualifying for every series running at Omaha, that being the LTPSS as well as the Omaha 500 drivers. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. This is Left Turn Productions, signing out.